Satoru is on his usual pizza delivery trip when he suddenly spots a blue butterfly that is glowing mysteriously. After seeing the mysterious creature, he's instantly shot back to where he just was. He has been sent back in time. Instead of reacting with surprise like most people, he instead starts to search frantically for something. That's when he sees a truck, whose driver is asleep, and about to hit a schoolboy crossing the road. Satoru slams against the truck, and turns the steering wheel out of the way, saving the boy's life. Satoru and the truck skid off the road, and Satoru is hit by a car. Unconscious, Satoru has flashbacks of his childhood, thinking of a mysterious girl in a red coat. When he comes to, his cute coworker is sitting next to him in the hospital. In her weird demeanor, she makes a scissor motion with her fingers, and tells Satoru that she's annoyed by the fact he never opens up or smiles. She tells Satoru that she's surprised that he saved the kid, and Satoru covers it up by saying that he just got lucky. When she tells Satoru that there were no other casualties, Satoru almost smiles, making the girl squeal. Satoru asks her why she works at the pizza place, and she tells Satoru that she has a dream. This causes Satoru to think of himself drawing manga. He is unable to be picked up by a company, since they all tell him he isn't reaching deep enough. She tells Satoru that saying your dream out loud makes it more likely to come true, and Satoru oddly thinks to himself that those words sound nostalgic. She leaves telling Satoru that she won't tell him her dream because they aren't close enough. In the taxi ride home, Satoru describes his ability, revival. Whenever something bad happens to someone else, a mysterious person sends Satoru back 1 to 5 minutes in the past to stop the bad event from happening. Even though it never ends well for Satoru, he still always decides to save the person in trouble. Satoru's mom is cooking dinner when he gets home. Even though she's 52, she doesn't seem to age. She asks Satoru if his head is okay and tells him she almost had a heart attack when she heard what happened. She says that she'll stay at his house for a while, and Satoru isn't happy, asking her to get a hotel room. Satoru tells her that he'll pay back the hospital bills, but she tells him to keep the money as her rent. At night, Satoru tries to go to the bathroom and has to step around his mom, who is watching the television and drinking beer on his bed. He thinks to himself that he wishes he didn't have to be so careful going to the bathroom. His mom somehow knows what he's thinking, and tells him he doesn't have to be so careful going to the bathroom. On his way back, his mom asks if he remembers the kidnapping that happened in their neighborhood when Satoru was in 5th grade. She tells him that she tried to make him forget what happened because his life was in danger. Satoru lays in bed trying to remember what happened back in middle school. He finally recollects that 2 of his classmates died. He has a flashback to back when he was 11. A 20-year-old man named Yuki used to play with Satoru. He was shy and had a stutter, but always tried to be nice to Satori. Yuki wasn't his real name, but a pseudonym he used that meant courage. One day, he asked Satoru if he could guess what the popular guy in his class was like. He said the guy would speak his mind a lot, and mess around. He has one thing that he's extremely serious about. He told Satoru that he was trying to be like that, even if it was only in 1 or 2 aspects. 6 months later, Shiratori Jun was arrested because of the kidnappings. On his way out of the grocery store, Satoru sees a little boy who spilled his ice cream cone. His mom offers to buy him a new one, trying to calm him down. Next to the little boy, a girl lets go of a bunch of balloons. As the balloons fly up, Satori sees the glowing butterfly, and his ability activates. He walks out of the store again, but this time he looks around carefully. The boy spills his ice cream again and the balloons are let loose. Despite looking, Satoru can't find what went wrong. He asks his mom if she sees anything out of the ordinary. That's when the mom sees a man taking a little girl to his car. The man sees the mom and starts to panic, quickly driving away. In the process, he leaves the little girl behind. Satoru's coworker sees him and calls out to him. She remarks that she thought Satoru's mom was his sister, and Satoru asks her if she believes in demons. She says that she does now after seeing her mom. She notices that Satoru's mom is quiet, and asks if they had a fight. Satoru's mom asks if her name is Eri-san and if she wants to join them for dinner. Eri puts her hand on her head and says she'll gladly accept the offer, and even asks if she can help make it. At home, Eri thanks Satoru for the food and Satoru tells her he'll walk her to the station. Satoru's mom is disappointed and asks her to stay the night, but Satoru remarks that she's only a high schooler. On the way to the station, Eri thanks Satoru for the food. When Satoru gets home, he tells his mom to stop making Eri out to be his future wife. Satoru's mom responds saying he's dense and he has a good chance with her. He says that she was just being polite, and Satoru's mom says that she wouldn't be polite just for the sake of it. Satoru's mom tells Satoru that in the parking lot that afternoon a man tried to kidnap a girl. Satoru is shocked, and Satoru's mom says that she was just kidding. At the library, Satoru reads up on the middle school incident. He thinks back to the girl who was kidnapped and killed. He saw her alone at the park the night she was kidnapped and wanted to talk to her, but was too scared because they weren't friends. That was the last time that he saw her. Satoru blamed himself for the incident as a child, thinking that if he asked her to walk home with him he could have saved her. He remembers that it was that incident he wanted the most to forget, and it was why he couldn't dig deeper when he drew manga. At the store, Satoru's mom thinks back to the kidnapping attempt. She questions why the kidnapper left the kid, and why he hid his eyes. She then realizes that the kidnapper knew who she was and that she knows a man with those eyes. She thinks back to the kidnapping incident, and realizes that it was the same man who caused the kidnapping back then. It dawns on her that they took in the wrong person for the kidnapping. She thinks to herself that he must have committed many crimes in between, and that she needs to talk to Satoru. She then hears the door open behind her, and before she can look back she is being stabbed by the kidnapper. The kidnapper adjusts his gloves, and Satoru's mom realizes that Satoru was right all along, that Yuki wasn't the actual killer. She regrets not listening to Satoru. She remembers back to Satoru as a child. At work, Satoru tells his manager he's going back home. Eri asks Satoru for more curry, saying that his mom is really good at making it. Satoru sees a mysterious man walking out of his apartment on his way back. When he walks into his apartment, he sees a note on the floor, and tells him mom to be more careful about locking the door. That's when Satoru sees his mother lying on the floor, dead.